got some basic improvising skills, but you're looking for ways to make your playing sound better. You've come to the right place. Let's first go over the 3 pentatonic patterns we will be using. Unlike in the first video where we used just 1 octave, the 5 notes that make up the D pentatonic scale, we will use notes on all 4 strings. So notes below where the first pattern started, all the notes of the pattern we previously learned, and notes on the first string. So if you put letter names to that, you'll see that you're just repeating notes. Here's A, B, D, E, F sharp, A, B, D, E, F sharp, A. And that's the D pentatonic pattern we'll be using. Next would be for the 4 chord of the key, which would be G. And before, we just took the 1 pattern from the D and moved it over to strings 4 and 3. That's where we got our first octave of the G scale. Here we'll just keep that going and add another octave. There's the G root. So the letter names of the notes here are G, A, B, D, E, G, beginning the next octave. G, A, B, D, E, G. And our third pattern will be for the 5 chord in the key, which will be A. Previously, we did 1 octave starting on the A string. All those patterns followed the D pattern, just moved either to G or A. Now we have the lower octave beginning on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. With the notes A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, and A. A concept that is useful in helping you memorize notes of your pentatonic scales is to relate them to chord positions. Here's a D chord. Here's another way to play a D chord with fingers 1, 3, and 4. You could even bring in your 2nd finger for all 4 strings. And that will help you outline the pattern. Play just those chord tones, you're playing what's known as a chord arpeggio. So do the same thing for G. Got your simple G chord, 3-finger G chord. Here's another 3-finger shape for a G chord. Here's the pentatonic scale. Here's the same concept for the A chord. There's your simple modal A, just 2 notes. You can add fingers 3 and 4 and have all 4 strings. Another nice A chord is 2nd fret on string 3, 6th fret on string 4. That's the A arpeggio. Here's the A pentatonic. Let's now talk about some ideas on how to develop licks out of these scales. As you're noodling within one of the patterns, I'm using the D pattern. See if your ear doesn't pick up on something that you use that you could repeat. One of the things that I did sounded like this. So at that point, you've got a little phrase that you can memorize, and you also have a phrase that will move to the other patterns. Here it is in G. Move it over here and you have it in A. So that's one idea. Just do your noodling. See if you can't hear a little pattern that you can repeat. Another idea is to use what's known as a pedal tone. For the D pentatonic, you can use the open D string and bounce notes off of the second string against it. Back and forth. Another good note to do the pedal tone with is the 4th fret note within the pattern. Notice I keep it down doing that. Again, these licks will move. Over here it would be for G. Move it over for A. Here's the open string. And one last idea for developing licks is you can add slides between two of the notes. Fret 2 to 4. You can add a hammer-on off the open string. Or a hammer-on from one fret to the next, 2 to 4. Here's an improvisation using the ideas we've just discussed. Here are some licks from the jamming you just heard. Just a note before we turn you loose to try it for yourself, the next video in this series, Lesson 3, will have us playing pentatonic scales against any chord in any key. Alright, your turn. When you complete your improvisation, stay tuned for a huge reward.